Welcome to DS Trucks. In today's video, I want to talk about something that's a little bit controversial, or at least it should be. It's more something that's happening kind of under the veil with Ford Motor Company, and it is the FordPass app. And I went to log in a few weeks ago, and it was saying like all these new terms back on February 7th. I still have not accepted this, but it says the FordPass is a platform that empowers users. It says all this stuff, but it's something here in bold that they really wanted you to see and really wanted to make sure you are clear on before you hit accept. It says FordPass relies on your data from your computer, your mobile device, and from your vehicle, such as vehicle location and driving data. If your vehicle is equipped with connectivity features or technologies and associated with your FordPass account, this is so we can deliver to you great functionality and services, as well as communications tailored to your interest. We may share this information, including with our authorized dealers and affiliates, as described in the FordPass privacy policy, which you can read in section 2. Where would that be? Section 1. Section 2 is where would I find that? By saying I accept, by clicking accept, you agree to be bound to these payment terms. Payment terms represent that you are 18. What payment terms? Payments and wallets. Payments apply to payments features of designated Ford Lincoln models. Interesting. So there's something to do with payments now, goods and services. I don't know. This is all very, I just, every time I look at this, I don't feel that I want to accept this. Okay. The issue that I have with all this FordPass stuff is not really, there's the 450 outside looking good. It's not even the payment stuff or anything like that. The issue that I have is this data, like what data are you sending and to who are you sending it to? Now, if you're saying like, as you know, Ford Motor Company, we want to protect our warranty process here. We don't want vehicles to be abused or misused. And then, seatbelt. And then we are the ones that end up having to provide the warranty for those particular vehicles. Like say you're not changing your oil, or say you're doing something, you know, that you shouldn't be doing, and then it's a violation of the warranty. That type of data can be sent over to Ford, and it is sent to Ford. So let's just say you need to replace under warranty a $20,000 to $25,000 diesel engine, but Ford knows that your oil light is always going off and you're not keeping up with your maintenance, and they can prove that based on data sent to them. Because you better believe when that intelligent oil life monitor is going off, Ford Motor Company is being notified that the oil has not been changed on that vehicle. So could that information be used? I've never been through a warranty claim that required or never like a warranty claim that required a significant amount of money where it resulted in like a denial or something like that of the warranty claim. But could that data, I mean, is that even something to really complain about or argue about? It's like they're using technology to try to protect their interest, which is, you know, doing a frivolous warranty claim. Some guy doesn't change his oil ever, and now his cylinders are scored or his bearings have failed, and he's trying to now warranty the engine. But maybe it's a guy who just went over an oil change by a little bit, and the engine failed, but of something else other than maybe it's like a 7.3 and the camshaft delaminated or something. Could that oil change have prevented that? I don't know, maybe. If you're not honoring your end of the deal, when you buy this vehicle, you're supposed to maintain it to a certain level in order to be able to retain that warranty. So using these technologies like FordPass and things like that, could it be a way to, within reason, protect the interests of the company from having to pay out excessive warranty claims from people who are negligent in the maintenance of their vehicle? I don't know. Is that something that I'm really complaining about? Maybe a little. As long as it's, done fair, because they're not going to tell you that you have to get your maintenance done at the dealership and you need to have some type of a paper trail for sure on the maintenance you're doing. You have to have some type of receipts, and going to the dealer could be a means of having that type of paper trail that you would need to have in order to prove that you did said maintenance. But even doing so, you'd have to take the receipts from the dealer and store those receipts in a designated area, like a folder or something, or some type of that's a paper trail. That's a proof of what was done to the truck, and it's pretty undeniable. But you could also just do your own maintenance, and you can go ahead and change your oil, write it down, show the receipt, put it in a folder. I've done that as well. The maintenance being done at the dealer does not necessarily mean that the dealer has the information saved so that in the event of an engine failure, you can go back to that dealer and say, can you show the history? Because I've been maintaining the vehicle here, so surely if I've been coming here every time to this institution to get my maintenance done, you would have a copy or a history or a record of that. But the dealers don't necessarily have that. Some might, but they don't always necessarily have that. So it's on the customer to, when they receive that invoice from the dealer, to save it, to log it, because the dealer's not necessarily doing that, or it might not be in their interest to always do that, to save that information and that be able to print you a log of everything you've done as far as maintenance in their store. I mean, you would think, but you'd be surprised. No, they don't always have that information. Maybe some do, but the ones that I've gone to, they don't have your maintenance records like that. Even though you went there and you think their computer system would have that information, they don't always have that. And at least when I went, it wasn't being provided to me from a dealership, from a Ford dealership. So not everyone may be the same, but I know that I've had issues in that department. But, I guess it's fair to say that if you're going to have an app like this that can monitor things, maybe something goes wrong with the vehicle where you should have pulled over and you didn't pull over, and that's why the damage is now exacerbated, and it's now such a big issue where you were a little bit negligent, you drove the vehicle, maybe it overheated. Now this data is being sent to Ford, and they're going to use it to protect their interest. I think that may be fair, but think about these vehicles and how they're built now. Like, let's just say, for example, I'm driving along and I take off my seatbelt. What happens? The truck knows that my seatbelt's off. Okay, no problem. Makes sense. What if we find out that they've gone through the effort of putting a sensor inside of every seat so that the truck knows if there's an actual person sitting down in that seat or not? Every single seat on every one of these trucks, regardless of trim, you're not talking high trim level, they've put a sensor into the seat to not only be able to determine if the seatbelt's being worn, but if a person is actually sitting on that seat. It's a very complicated process, a very expensive process that was developed, and it could be across all manufacturers. I'm not exactly sure, but it's certainly in the Fords, because that's the brand that I've been dealing with. If your butt's in that seat, that sensor knows whether or not that seat's being used. It's not a high trim feature. It's in every one of these trucks now. And you take that seatbelt off, it's gonna ding at you as if you were driving the vehicle. Now, when you're the driver of the vehicle, it can be assumed that you're sitting in the seat, because someone has to be sitting in the driver's seat for the vehicle to be in motion. So that's how the sensors would work. But now, even on the passenger seat now, you got to wear that seatbelt, because they know if that butt's in the seat. Even in the rear of the truck, every seat in the rear has a sensor to know if a butt's in it and if they're wearing a seatbelt. Even the center seat, where you would think that's not a commonly used seat, right there in the middle, in the center, they've got a sensor in the middle seat of the truck to know if someone's actually sitting in it and if they're wearing a seatbelt. Now, where could this data be getting sent to? They've got everything in this truck changed to a data point. The parking brake is no longer able to be mechanical in this truck, at least. I'm sure maybe there's some other trim levels that still have mechanical parking brake, but my last Lariat 450 had a mechanical parking brake. And this one, same trim level, and we've lost so many features going into 23. Like our headlights have been cheapened. So many things have been cheapened. But they found the money to install an electronic parking brake on this trim level. If they're saving money and cheapening up the truck, why did I get an upgraded mechanical or updated electronic parking brake that now can be remotely applied, the parking brake? It actually will cycle through. Like every once in a while you park the truck and you'll hear it do a whole thing where it will cycle through just to make sure it's moving and it's functioning. Why did they spend that money there? That's a significant amount of money when you're talking about however hundreds of thousands or millions of units that they make. You're talking about millions and millions of dollars to upgrade this part to electronic. Everything on here is now electronic. Like, if the vehicle is locked and someone tries to open the door and the alarm system goes off, then it will apply the parking brake. So the truck has the ability to apply the parking brake whenever the computer decides it's necessary. When the truck alarm system, the factory alarm system, is triggered, a signal is sent to FordPass, and the phone is notified that your phone's notified that your vehicle alarm's going off. That's kind of interesting that that would notify your phone of your vehicle's alarm being triggered. Very interesting. So when your vehicle alarm is triggered, the parking brake can lock. But under the right circumstances, it's safe to bet that Ford could lock down your truck and could apply that parking brake in order to immobilize that truck if they wanted to. Now, there's so many ways that can be a benefit. I'm going to turn around. This is a dirt road. I don't want to be on no freaking dirt road. So I'm swinging around. Bust that Yui. There's so many different ways that you could look at this technology. It's something that can immobilize the truck. It could help you if the vehicle's stolen from you. They can shut down the truck. That's all great that they can shut down the truck. But at the same time, would they ever shut down your truck if for some reason there was some type of uprising or something like that, where you think, okay, I'm going to drive my truck, and you're on the wrong side of this uprising, and they found out that they can shut down certain people's vehicles and they wouldn't be able to drive or be immobilized or whatever? That would be more of a grand scheme of conspiracy. I'm not sure if I'm there just yet with the conspiracies, but that will be more of something that's bigger than even Ford itself. I mean, that would be something to look at if every vehicle was like that, but I'm not sure that's the case. I'm not sure if like this is something across the board with every vehicle now being sold in the United States that there's some type of conspiracy. Like I say, I only really know about Ford. That's something for the comment section. Like if you know for some more information on like, is every vehicle like this now, where certain things are electronic and certain things are connected to the cloud and they're able to be controlled? Comment below on that. I'm not sure. I just know that Ford has this type of capability. But what I'm really worried about with the Fords in today's day and age, I don't know if we're fully there today yet to be scared that they're going to shut down your vehicle. I mean, things can change quickly. You know what I mean? Things start getting bad and people start picking sides. One side may be getting their truck shut down. But aside from that, I think in today's day and age, it's fair to be concerned about the implications of the insurance. Like, these insurance companies spend a lot of money trying to figure out what the consumer is up to. Are they wearing their seatbelts? Are they speeding and all that? And it got to the point where you used to go and get insurance and they would ask you straight up to your face, they would ask you, hey, do you wear your seatbelt? Well, everyone's going to say yeah in order to get a discount. But what's the reality of that question? Like, do you get into your vehicle as soon as you get into it? Do you clip that seatbelt on before that vehicle even moves? You clip it on, and do you religiously wear that seatbelt every single time without question? Are you putting that seatbelt on? Are you perfect with it? Do you ever get on that freeway at all without that seatbelt on? And then driving down the road, do you clip it on and go, oh, I forgot. Oh, let me put on my seatbelt. You know what I mean? This is the type of data that they want the insurance company to be able to find. What would that be worth to an insurance company? Now you think about a FordPass app, and this is an app that they're not really charging you money for. And a lot of times when you turn on the app, you're like going to the dealership and they're giving you all type of rewards. They're giving you oil filters, fuel filters, all this stuff. They're giving you these points. They're giving you a significant amount of money. You find out that the reason they give you all this stuff and all these benefits, it depends on if you turn on that app or not. If you turned on that FordPass app, they might give you more rewards. What incentive do they have to have you? Not only do you not have to pay for the app, but when you turn it on, they'll give you hundreds of dollars. I've gotten fuel filters, all type of parts from the dealer, and I'm like, where are these points coming from? Oh, it's your FordPass points. Who's paying? Who's paying for the infrastructure for all of this stuff to constantly be on this cell signals and all this? Where's the money coming from to keep the FordPass apps running? Now, I know that I'm one of those people, I'm not perfect about the seatbelt. Like, I'm wearing it now. I'm working on it because I'm kind of thinking, this FordPass stuff, could it be doing something with data? Could it be in my interest to kind of play the game, to kind of wear the seatbelt, kind of like follow certain speed limits and not be going, crazy over the speed limit or whatever, rapidly accelerating or something like that? Could that data be getting sent and costing me money in the long run? Because I know my insurance rate got a huge hike in the last couple of years. Could it be some type of social credit score that's being created based on driving habits? Do you enforce rules when people get in your car and you say, hey, before we roll, put that belt on? Do people kind of do what they want to do? Like, do you make people wear a seatbelt? Do you always wear a seatbelt? For me, using this truck for work, there's so many cases where I might be moving the vehicle without wearing a seatbelt. But I think, I went ahead and made the effort now to try to wear it as much as possible. But I know this, my rates are high. They're real high. I've gotten to the point now, my auto policy is $1,000 a month. And yeah, it's been going up. Well, we all know that rates are going up, but like nowadays, the data is out there. They don't have to ask if you're wearing your seatbelt because they can find out. I mean, we'd like to think that that's not happening, but the reality is there's enough data out there for them to know what you're doing. Now, what's interesting about the FordPass app and reading through it, by accepting it, by agreeing to it, you agree that they can use the equipment inside of the vehicle, the connectivity of whatever, the module that's in the vehicle and all the data, the sensors. They can use that data to collect, to send to their affiliates, whatever that means. And they also can use your own phone to collect data. Your computer, your device, your phone with the app on it can send data to their central sensors or to their servers, as well as their equipment that's in the truck. So you're agreeing. I don't know how solid of a contract that is. Like, it seems like a lot of agreement to just open an app and press accept, and okay, you signed that contract. That's you signing that. It seems like you'd almost have to sit down somewhere and have it notarized or something and then sign it to be giving up all that type of data. But I guess if you just click accept on that app, you're agreeing to using that information. Now, let's take this into account. I'm driving 66 miles an hour down the freeway, but the speed limit here is, I think it's 70, but let's just say it's 55. I know it turns, for right now, it says 70 speed limit and 65 trucks. So does this count as a truck? Because yes, it is a truck. 65 trucks. This technically is a truck. Do I need to go 65? Or could data be sent that this truck is going 75? Everybody's driving 75, by the way. It would be such a hazard for me to go 65. But could it be determined that I'm speeding right now? It's a very interesting thought. It's a very interesting question. I'm not sure. But if I were the guy who wanted to drive 80, that's, the guys who drive 80, I'll show you one right now. He's driving 80 miles an hour. Oh, got a car here, got a car there. That guy over there, he's driving 80. He's in a white truck. Oh, there's another 450 back there too. Looking good. I don't know if you can see that. But there's a guy up there driving 80 miles an hour. That's just how he drives. There's a lot of people doing that. The speed limit is, there's no 80 mile an hour speed limits here. But that's just how people drive. Could that be found? That's a 350 coming up. Look at that thing. That thing's a 350. Still look good. Now he's going 80. Is that data being shared with potential, insurance companies or anything like that? That this person drives at this rate of speed, this is this much more dangerous, this is this much more risk, and this person needs to pay more. It's very interesting. So I don't know. Do I play the game and turn on the app? Because the app truly is a useful app. So many ways. I mean, you can locate the vehicle. You can remote start the vehicle. I sometimes will get on my phone and remote start the truck. You can do so many different things with the app. It's a good app. You can see, check engine lights. If the check engine light comes on, you can see that. It's not a bad app. But is it worth it at the end of the day? Maybe I turn it on and I play the game, I wear the belt, I go to speed limit, but it's weird. Like, that is now encouraging certain behaviors, but I don't know if it's a bad, it's not a bad type of encouragement. It's like, okay, wear your seatbelt more. Okay, no problem. I'm safer. Okay, go a little bit slower. Don't be pushing 85 plus. Okay, that's probably safer, better for everybody involved. Less stone chips on my truck. So, I guess you got to kind of look at both sides. I mean, I don't sit right with me to be selling off data. I think if there's a possibility that this data could be going to an insurance company or something, I feel it'd be more in everybody's best interest to be that transparent. I mean, the app is so good that if you're sending data to an insurance company, say that, hey, our affiliates, it could be going to an insurance company, it could be going to law enforcement, it could be going to whatever. If that's what it is, tell us that, because you got all this text of legal jargon, but I don't know if spam. All this legal jargon that they send us, I don't know if it would be that hard to tell us exactly where this data is going and what this data is. And it might actually, I don't know, it might be more fair in that way, because if you're going to give this powerful, wonderful app to us with all these features, who's paying for it? If it's going to be the insurance companies, and if it's going to be whatever agency or whatever stipulation comes with it, data being sold, at least tell us that, so that if we want to use the app still, that we know that our speeds and our seatbelts and all these different things can affect our lives. Like, I think a lot of people will still use the app and just wear the seatbelt more in order to be able to be allowed to use the app still. But if they're doing that, they're selling this data, but they're just not going to tell us what they're doing with the data, I don't know if I can agree with that or get down with that. So I don't know. I'm still on the fence. I haven't clicked accept since January or February 7th that they sent the update, and it's the 17th, and I still haven't clicked accept. So maybe I will, maybe I won't, I don't know. But anyway, my name is Sean. This is DS Trucks. See you in the next one. Over and out.